Here we go.
Yes, sir. The boys are back in town.
Rap Sports News, RSM
RSM Podcast.
Podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What up, man?
Things getting weird out here.
Oh, man. It's staying weird out here. That's the new thing. It's weird outside.
Right.
You know what? I got
right.
an idea about that. I'll tell you later. I ain't gonna say it on the pod. We have to surprise the people.
All right, cool. All right, we got some rap going on. First, we want to start with remembering someone from both our childhoods. R.I.P. to Coolio.
Word, gangsters.
Coolio passed away at the age of 59 this week.
Yeah, man. You know what? I just realized I'm thinking about this as we're saying it. I think it's like 3 weeks in a row. We talking about somebody passing away, like a public figure.
Yeah, it's been excessive. This one hit because I remember, Coolio was on like shows like Kenan and Kel, and he was always on like Nickelodeon performing. So we definitely grew up with him. Funny thing about Coolio, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gangsta's Paradise was the first song that I ever like learned word for word.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, because I remember when it came out, like this sounds way different from everything else, right?
Yeah.
So I remember this is back when we had cassettes. Yeah, I'm giving our age away. So I took one of the cassette tapes and put it in a cassette player, and I let the radio play and waited for his song to come on, and then recorded it. And then like I took that tape and just like listened to that over and over and over. And I learned that whole song like word by word.
Wow. Yeah, man. That's that's a moment in hip hop. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the backstory that people might not know. I didn't even know that. And just like the excitement when music came out, like that's how you know like people have an effect on you, like the legends and stuff like that. When it's like when you had those moments, like yo, this is when you know what I'm saying, you memorized the lyrics to the first, like, that's dope.
Yeah. So definitely rest in peace to Coolio, and thanks for contributing to my childhood.
Absolutely.
All right. So ASAP Rocky had a rough week. And Tyler, the creator, is loving it.
I saw the picture of the birthday cake with I can't believe he did that.
Tyler made a cake out of
I can't believe he did this. He had a birthday cake with the picture of ASAP Rocky, like.
Right. So people who don't know, I guess ASAP, he was doing a concert, and I think he's one of those people that like jumping in the crowd. So he said somebody ended up squeezing him in his private parts really hard, and that's why he was making that face and stuff because he was in pain. And yeah. Tyler, the creator, just thought it was hilarious.
You know what I was thinking, right? I was thinking that was him in the crowd.
Come on, man.
That's why he made the cake.
You tripping.
Oh man, yeah, that was wild. Rest in peace to ASAP Rocky's future.
Tyler is like having a field day making fun of his friend.
Yeah,
but yeah,
that's wild.
Heal up, rest up, ASAP.
Hey man, you nuts for that?
Freaking all right, so there's a trend going on right now on TikTok, and some people are unhappy. Tupac lyrics from Keeping Your Head Up's being used. Since we got a name for a woman, our game from our woman, do we hate our women? Has been on TikTok, and the womanist movement has been using it, and some of the sisters are upset about it because they're saying, hey, Tupac made that song for us. It had nothing to do with your struggles.
Yeah, I mean, it's understandable. I feel like it's understandable. Both sides just playing the middle, and the reason I say that is because, yeah, he made it for like like people of color going through oppression, and women, I should say, of color going through oppression, different things that they go through that the world doesn't really care about, seem to care about them, care about how they feel, care about the things that they go through, being overlooked, underpaid, all these different things, right? So I understand that. I understand it. Like, hey, this is like our piece of the pie. This is our something that makes us feel good, empowers us, right? But then I see the other side of it too, is like, why can't it empower everybody? Why can't it, what I'm saying? Like, the message should empower everybody and this and that. But I feel like it can, just don't try to own it. You know what I'm saying? Just don't try to take it and make it seem like, use it for a different agenda. You see what I'm saying? Take it away from the intention, I think.
Right. See, my thing about it, so at the beginning of the video, he has a RIP in memory of Natasha Harlan.
Yeah.
So if you don't know the story of Natasha Harlan, she was a 15-year-old girl. This is in 1991. She went to a convenience store to get orange juice. She had the juice. She put it in her bag. She was going to the counter, but before she got up there, the convenience store clerk was like, "Hey, you're stealing from me or whatever, right?" And she's like, "I'm not stealing, whatever." That's what witnesses say. But the convenience store clerk was just kept berating her, and she ended up grabbing her bag and like pulling the juice out or something. And then Latasha like pushed her or like hit her with something. I don't know. But the clerk ended up getting a revolver and shooting her in the back of the head as she was walking out the store. And of course, she succumbed to her injury. But that whole thing caused a lot of like uprise from the community. So he was making that song for like black women's struggle at the time. That's why I say like that song was to empower like black women. Everyone in the video was a black woman.
Yeah, and it's I feel like maybe it could be also be like the miseducation or the non-educated people who are using, using parts of the song. They don't know the history behind it. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Maybe they took it, heard it, and just was naive and was like, "Oh, this seems cool. Let's," you know what I'm saying? Because we're in the times where people who if they don't know, they just take stuff and run with it. You know what I'm saying? And they act like, but they don't know like the true meaning behind it or how it makes other people feel too. So I think we should all do our due diligence, and just like do a little bit of research before we try to take something and run with it, because it might not understand how much it means to a whole group of people.
All right. Even take the first lyrics off the song. The blacker the berry, sweeter the juice. I say the darker the skin, the deeper the roots.
Man, yeah, I can't go around.
Black,
I can't go around that one. You said,
yeah. But speaking of black, we're talking about the baby being blackballed. Is the baby blackballed, or are fans just kind of over the flow?
I think they tired of him, man. I don't know. Like, it's a thing. Like, not until recently. Like, I don't want to make this comparison, but let's just say Drake, right? Drake been around for a long time. Every time he come out, there's noise about him. He always finds a way to stay relevant without having a bunch of nonsense going on. Like, he had a few little, the him and Meek thing, little things here and there, but he's never been like super in a negative eye. Like, he's always into something negative. You know what I'm saying? He's always seemed like he's like focused on music, doing something positive, or making a move. Unless he's throwing money in a strip club. But the baby, it always seemed like he get a lot of negative attention, a lot of negative press, and sometimes I feel like maybe he bring some stuff on himself, maybe. But it's like maybe people just tired of it. It's just like, all right, man, like we get it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So he just dropped a new album this week, and it didn't do too well on SoundScan. So people are saying, well, maybe he's blackballed from his comments from a few years ago when he was in concert, or like you said, maybe people are just tired of it. I think at this point he has to do something different. Yeah. You remember how back in the day, like Busta Rhymes, he had that same like fast flow for years and years and years, right? Mm. And then he got kind of tired of it, and then he started working with like people like Mariah and Maya and all them, and then he kind of came back. Like I think the baby needs to kind of find his next style.
Yeah, I mean it's not all. And you got to talk about something different too. You know what I'm saying? You got to mix it up, talk about different things. You know, I don't know. I think just music in general, like, everybody's like, I'm really moody. I'm a moody listener. So like when I listen to stuff, it's based on how, you know, the temperature, how I feel at the moment and stuff like that. Like sometimes I don't, like you said, I don't want to keep hearing the same kind of music over and over and over. I need something refreshing. I need something different. You know what I'm saying? I need to switch it up. Like I might not be in the same state of mind I was before when I was listening to that. You know what I'm saying? So not saying he got to cater to the, not necessarily cater to the people, but like put people in, you know, consider people wanting to hear other things too. Like consider like broaden your horizons. Like I think one of the perfect examples of that, one of the artists I think just mastered that from the time she came out was Rihanna. Like not saying, not comparing, you know, R&B to hip hop, but like it's in all music. Like she's like, if you think about Rihanna when she first came out, like all the way through, she's always had records that everybody loves. You know what I'm saying? Like she don't just talk about one thing over and like, you already know she gonna have a love song. No, you don't know what kind of song she gonna come out with. You know what I'm saying?
I think for her, what was smart is that she worked with so many writers. Because remember, she worked with The Dream, she worked with Neo, she worked with Chris Brown.
Yeah, different.
And all these people were writing for her at the time. So, all right, the baby, maybe you just need a different writer, man.
Yeah, you probably need a different writer. Mix it up a little bit.
All right, moving to news. Dirty Cop, Lieutenant Shannon Mikowski, making a hostile work environment for everybody in South Fulton.
Oh, man.
So she got caught up. Some of the people from her job were saying that she was drinking on the job. They would do busts, and she was taking money off the scene and just doing a bunch of ratchet stuff.
She thought she was real life Training Day, huh?
Right.
She didn't watch Training Day too many times.
I was thinking about that too when I was reading it.
But you know, I think it's so many. I feel like she's just one that got caught. I feel like there's probably thousands of them out there. You know what I'm saying? She's just one that got caught. And I feel like it's a good step in the right direction because you don't want people out on the street getting mistreated, misused, and stuff like that, or abusing their power or authority, I should say.
So or making your staff get drunk at work.
Yeah, man, it's like who knows what else she did. I mean, that's just what they reported. So it's always what's reported and what really happened. You know what I'm saying? So when I hear something like that, I know in the back of my mind it's way worse than that. It's way worse than that. That's just what they reported. So it's, you know, I don't want to sound like a hater and be like, oh, I'm happy this happened to you, but I'm happy this happened to you because you out here, like that could be somebody's mom, somebody's grandma, us, anybody. You know what I'm saying? We could be minding our business, doing what we do, and then get harassed for no reason. And for somebody who does this on a regular, so I don't really feel no remorse for it. I feel like hopefully this continues.
Right. So and remember that Bonnie Willis is the DA out there, so she needs to step forward. She throwing the rappers away, she can throw the police away too.
For real. I think not to go off topic, but I feel like you mentioned many years ago. And probably early on in these episodes, RSM podcast, we are definitely getting towards policing ourselves or getting towards like so much less police influence in these streets that it's getting real outside.
Oh yeah, we're heading towards there. All right. Yeah. So. Mutual combat is a new term that I've learned this week. So out in Chicago, Illinois, there were two gangs that got into it on the streets. They ended up shooting at each other, and I think two people died, one from each side. They said that about 70 rounds dropped in the street, and nobody got arrested.
Bro,
the cops said this is mutual combat between two gangs.
Illinois, we already said this like a couple episodes ago. Illinois is the new purge state. Like, this is crazy. Like, I feel like really it's like Gotham City right now. Like, Illinois is like you can really go there and shoot up. You can go let off 90 rounds, and as long as somebody threatens you, or you felt threatened by them, or they threw a rock at you that made you light up 90 rounds, it's a mutual combat. Like, this is crazy. Like, I never thought this is like Grand Theft Auto in Chicago or Illinois in general.
All right. And speaking of Gotham City, you do remember when they were shooting Batman out there, they did steal the Batmobile. That happened in real life.
Yo, it's funny you say that too, because I just watched a clip on my social where somebody was literally just driving on a highway with a Batmobile.
Yeah. So yeah, they got some stuff going on. Yeah, mutual combat is brand new to me. You know, hopefully they're able to get things under control. That's a crazy policing style to me.
Yeah.
Because it kind of goes back to what Tupac said on Changes, right? He said, give them a step back and watch them get rid of each other, basically.
And that's what's happening.
So, right. And it's just crazy to see that play out in real life.
It's like this. As we getting closer to the holiday season, unfortunately, I feel like we're going to see a lot more of that now.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot more car break-ins and stuff, and just robbery in general.
Yeah.
So, more about cops.
Uh-oh.
There was a lady who got stopped in a road rage incident. They ended up arresting her, putting her in the back of the cop car. You know, she was, probably being a little mouthy and stuff. But this is where it all went wrong.
Uh-oh.
They had the car parked on the train track. The cops were sitting out there distracted by something. I don't know. They might have seen a butterfly or something. And the train ends up coming and hitting the car while the lady's cuffed in the back of it. So
That's
she
crazy.
ended up getting hella injuries, broken ribs, broken legs, whatever. And now they're in a lawsuit. And the police down there are saying, like, why does someone got to tell you not to park on the train track?
So, my first question, I don't know if you noticed or not, but I'm just off the rip. They should have been fired immediately.
I think one of them is on leave and the other two are under investigation.
Unacceptable. They should have been fired immediately. You're not competent enough to not pull on a train track and then put somebody in the
coming.
Here. So first you pulled on the train track, right? Well, wait, let's back up. Normally, and I don't know if this is the cop's responsibility or the citizen's responsibility, but normally when you get pulled over in the nighttime, they're supposed to pull in a lighted area. I don't know whose responsibility that is, whether hers or... Then they pull on the train track. Then they put her in the car cuffed on the train track. Then how do you not hear a train coming? I don't understand that.
Right.
And then
that's the part that gets me.
Yeah, and then this is the kicker. The reaction, I think the reaction was, get out the way, not, oh my God, she's in the car. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like my reaction, if I was there, I wouldn't be there. I'm not a cop, but like if I was there, I'd have been like my first reaction was like, oh, she about to get, you know what I'm saying? Like, not to make fun of her injuries or anything, but like natural reaction. When we talking about like responses to things. Like my thing is like if I'm too far away, I'm like, oh, she about to get hit, she about to get lit. You know what I'm saying? It's not everyone get out the way. like nobody's in the car.
Yeah. It's like they didn't have the empathy for her. It was just kind of like, oh well, she's a goner.
Yeah,
type of deal, right?
Lost cause, pretty much.
Right. And it's just the first mistake that he made was just parking on the train tracks. I see this sometimes in like real life with other cars, not cops. I don't see cops do it, but I see cars that like, you'll be at a light and then there's a train track behind the light. Every once in a while, I will see someone like park right on the train track. No. That's always kind of like crazy to me because it makes you start thinking like, what if a train comes?
That's true. Now this is my other thing, and I'm trying to, you know how I forgot what it was before when I was like, this is probably gonna happen. This is what I think is probably gonna happen. Okay, one or two things, or three things. One, they're gonna fire the officers involved. Two, they're not gonna fire the officers involved, because or whatever, some bogus reason, like and this is the thing. I feel like because she's not famous or anything, like she don't, what I'm saying, just a regular person, is not gonna get the attention it should have. But I feel like the officers might say, oh, it was dark and we didn't see the train tracks. I'm telling you, it sounds crazy. But I feel like if they try to take the officer's side, they're gonna try to find some loophole to be like, oh, the lighting wasn't enough light, we didn't see the train tracks.
Or you didn't see the little lights going off, going ding.
We clearly saw it, right? But I'm telling you, it's always, if they want to keep those officers, it's always something like that. They're gonna something, you know what I'm saying, like we can all see, they're gonna make up an excuse. I hope that doesn't happen. I really hope that doesn't happen. So I hope she gets justice. And number three, I feel like she should sue the crap out of him, man.
Yeah, they are going through a lawsuit. I hope she wins $100 million like the other guy that hurt himself.
Man, if the one dude got paralyzed from getting slammed on the ground, she should, not to say that his injury is not worse than hers or anything like that, but I feel like she should get more.
Right, because they did more.
Right.
But, yeah, so hopefully she heals up. Hopefully she wins a lot of money, and hopefully that never, ever happens again.
Word.
All right, so Oakland's having some issues right now. Oakland has an influx of sex workers.
Oh. Yeah, I saw that. They were saying something about the zoning. How basically a lot of businesses or whatever like got pushed over. So like the zoning district got moved over a block. I don't know all the specifics or details, but basically because of that decision of the zoning to be changed, it brought over an influx of sex workers into ordinary, happy-going neighborhood with regular people in there that, going to work, going to school, doing regular stuff, to you bringing all the street workers over there, and they like all over, and it's not like it's like, at nighttime, and it's all day long, like they walking up and down the streets, like a bunch of them. I thought when I saw this was gonna be like, I thought it was gonna be like, one or two, one on this corner, one on that corner or something. No, they walking around like half naked, walking up and down the streets, waving at people's husbands and stuff. Like, like what?
Yeah, there's like 30 of them out there.
Oh,
yeah. So it's kind of crazy. In the community, they're trying to talk about it because they're like, hey, my daughter or son, they have questions about this, and there's Johns going up and down, and the police just aren't out here helping out or whatever, right? And that's kind of part of the police shortage that's going on. LA got a lot going on, from the homelessness to crime to the street workers now too.
Yeah,
it's just all a snowball effect.
Yeah. LA is at an all-time high of just. I'm telling you, it's like Grand Theft Auto there too. Between, I don't know what's worse between Illinois or LA.
These are the states
California.
right now. It's Illinois, it's LA or California,
California,
it's New York, and it's Texas.
yeah.
And also Louisiana too.
It's wild, man. It is wild. I'm hoping. All right, I can't even say I'm hoping to get this under control. Do you think this can get under control?
No, not no time soon. We're gonna have to just go through it and let it filter itself out. It's like you know how you get the flu, and at the beginning of it, you're like, man, my head hurts, and you're sniffling and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like you'd be like, how do I fix this right now?
That's true.
You know what's coming.
Yeah, that's true.
You're like, all right, I'm gonna have to try to get in the most comfortable position. I have like a fever of 101. I'm gonna get tissue. I'm gonna go get cold medicine. You know what's coming.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where we're at. We're like at that sniffling. I'm starting to feel kind of warm feeling in the country.
That's a great analogy. Yeah, we're definitely at that point for sure. I think by Christmas we're gonna be coughing pretty hard.
Bring in the bell. Somebody help! Bring some orange juice.
Oh man, get the chicken noodle soup ready.
Right. Yeah, it's it's sad because you grew up seeing like so many of these beautiful places. Like I think we was talking about. Were we talking about it when I was talking about Midtown like 15 years ago?
Yeah, I think last week we was talking about that.
Yeah, so you think about these places that were like really beautiful at one point, and now they're like crime ridden and stuff, and there's so much going on. You can't really be down there too long. You definitely can't sit outside and eat.
No.
Not on the street level, at least.
No.
You can go to the rooftop, but you can't be on the street.
Nah, not on the street at all. I don't know what might come out the sky.
Yeah. So, okay. We got some pretty bad news out of Philadelphia, Roxborough High School. There were some students that were ambushed after a football game, and ended up being 4 students shot. One of them passed away, and the other ones got treated for their wounds.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, that's terrible, man. It's like, once again, like, what can you do safely nowadays? Like, you know what I'm saying? Everything you name, there's been a shooting or shootings happening, and it's like, for those kids, man, I hope that they are truly one, not scarred, and not like traumatized, but at the same time, I hope that they're not like, this kind of stuff happens every day, like immune to it,
Right. Yeah, it's gotta be difficult. I remember growing up, we didn't really hear about shootings like that. It happened, of course, but it was like so far and in between that you really didn't think about it. You might hear about 1 or 2 a year back in the 2000s. But now, we hear about it every single week now. Or at least there's a threat of it. Maybe nothing happens, but someone threatens everybody at the school. The FBI ends up stepping in and being like, well, you made a threat, so we're going to take it seriously like you were going to do it.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, like back in the day, like I knew outside of school where I lived, when I lived in Buffalo, that there's always a possibility of a shooting. Like someone got killed at my bus stop before, right? But at school felt like a safe place, even though like, you might get into it with the people in the school, stuff like that, but you never thought that somebody was going to come and shoot at the school. You know what I'm saying? Like that was like the place where you like, all right, church and school was like the safe place, like quote unquote safe place where you really, you be ready to fight, but not ready to dodge bullets. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's crazy nowadays. Right. It's like anything goes.
Yeah, there's no rules. It's like complete lawlessness. It's a good thing you brought up, like, those 2 places did seem the most safe. But I will say this. I remember having an assembly when I was, like, in middle school. And there was a cop there that was talking about that. He was like, who here thinks that, a school shooting could happen? And like pretty much me and only like four other students raised our hand. He asked me why, and I was like, well, because that can really happen anywhere. And then he kind of shoot it off. He's like, no, that's not gonna happen. That doesn't happen in schools or whatever like that. Now fast forward, which is like maybe like 25 years since then, I was right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And sometimes, I mean, I think it goes along with the times changing and just not being naive.
Yeah, that's the most important one. Being aware, just being aware of who. I hope the kids be more aware of who they're aligning themselves with.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of this music can be exciting, and they want to be NBA young boy, and they're looking up to him like we looked up to Wayne and stuff. But like, kind of like understand these people live a different lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want to be on house arrest for like 5 years like NBA young boy.
Nah, man. You gotta, I don't like restrictions. I don't like restrictions in anything I do. Like, whether it's creating music, whether it's creating anything, doing anything. I respect the guidelines, but I like to be free. And I don't want to give my freedom for nobody.
Yeah, exactly. So keep a level head, guys, and watch who you're around.
Yes, sir.
All right. We got some sports. Talk to us about Blake Griffin.
Yes, sir. The boy Blake Griffin is now a Boston Celtic. I didn't see that. I didn't see that coming at all. He was with the Brooklyn Nets, and he played solid. He gave him some solid minutes. His effort, he's not jumping out the building like he used to, but he's definitely putting in work, and he's a valuable piece that I think that the Celtics could use. I didn't think that they would go after him. But I think that's a good addition for them. They were already a great team already. So all you can do is help give some healthy minutes off the bench. Now, one piece that I thought would have went to Brooklyn or Boston is Jay Crowder. He's a free agent now, I think. He's a free agent or he wants to be traded. He's trying to demand a trade, something like that. He's trying to go on a different team. I felt like Brooklyn or Boston could have picked him up because he's a dog. He's like, he's a solid player. He's a little annoying if you're playing against him, but he's a dog. And that'd be kind of nice. I don't know. I don't think him and LeBron get along. I was gonna say if the Lakers could have got him too, but neither here nor there. Blake Griffin, welcome to the Celtics.
Yes. And we got some news with Rachel Nichols.
Oh yeah, Rachel Nichols. Yeah, she was on, I think it was All the Smoke with what's his name, Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes on their podcast. Shout out to them, All the Smoke. And she was just basically touching on the situation. She got fired from ESPN. She was working for him for like, I don't know, don't quote me on this, maybe 20 years or something, 20, 25 years. And basically she got fired over this whole thing where, in a nutshell, you should go, if anybody out there watching, go check it out. But basically she was selected to, do the games for the NBA Finals, to host the games for the NBA Finals. And then some backlash happened with ESPN where they got accused of not being, giving people of color an opportunity. So she basically had a private conversation which was recorded in her hotel room without her knowing. And someone asked her about that on the phone, talking to a friend, private conversation. And she basically gave her view on that. And was just like, she didn't say nothing crazy. She was just like, I already got a contract. I got this, I got that. And ESPN wants to give my job that I already signed a contract for to this other female. She was a African-American woman. And she was like way newer to the job than her, what she worked 25 years for or so. And she just gave her view on that. She didn't say nothing disrespectful. She just basically saying it's not fair that ESPN is trying to just, trying to cover up and just say, oh no, we have a African-American face out there, so the press would be good. And she just gave her views on that in private, and she was recorded, and somebody was watching her and recording her, which is wrong in the first place, in her hotel room. And so that got her fired. So it was good to see her side of the story. Like I said, it's on the podcast. All the Smoke, not Stephen A. Smith, Steven Jackson, and Matt Barnes. You should check it out. Rachel Nichols is dope. Man, she was one of my favorite reporters for many years, and wish her nothing but love.
Right. I don't like this new trend of people getting fired on their day off.
Oh man,
like how you gonna fire me on my day off, man?
Yeah, that's whack.
Like yeah, so that's definitely dirty. She didn't do anything wrong. I guess she was just talking about it. They told her not to talk about it or something.
No, I don't think they told her not to talk about it. That's the thing. She was having a private conversation, this and that. Like, I don't think they told her not to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that they were recording her in her hotel room, like,
yeah, spying
on her, I feel like that actually should have been a lawsuit on her side. Just saying.
Right.
Did somebody else get fired on their day off?
Yeah, I think he was one of the bigwigs over at Google. He ended up running into a TikToker that's popular for asking people with nice cars what they do for a living. He ran up to this dude. He seen him in a I think it was a McLaren. He was in a McLaren, so he asked him, "What do you do for a living?" He said, "I make a lot of money, drive sports cars, and fondle women." And Google didn't like that answer. So he got fired on his day off too after 22 years with the company.
Oh man, now this is the thing, man. I feel like if you're on your day off and you out living your personal life, they shouldn't hold that against you. But because it was online for people to see and Google saw it, if they could see it, they can say, you misrepresenting the company, this and that, and that's the reason.
But he's not, because
he never said he worked for ownership. Google. Did he say he worked for Google?
Yeah.
Oh dang.
So like he wasn't at work when he did this. He was just on his day off.
Yeah.
Hanging out. I think he had a chick in the car with him, and the TikToker just came up to him randomly.
Yeah.
Like I don't like the trend of, hey, when you're not here, we still own you.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, I'm against that too. Don't get me wrong. I'm completely against that too. Because, I feel like everybody, if that's the case, I feel like, if you think about it, it's stuff that the heads of Google, I'm sure, say that they don't want nobody to hear. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like how would they feel if they were on their personal day at the house and I'm over there and I'm just recording them talking a bunch of crap, you know what I'm saying? And then post it. Now, should they get fired? You see what I'm saying? Like that's not cool. I mean, I've been around heads of, I'm not going to say, but big people who said some very questionable things. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
And didn't make me feel like they should be fired. Yeah, that's not cool.
And then, where's the line at, right? Say if somebody works at Target, right?
Yeah.
Just for instance. Then one day they're shopping and they Instagram and they post it. Then they get called into the office when they go back to work and they're like, "Hey, we saw your Instagram post. Why were you shopping at Walmart?" You're fired.
Oh man.
Like, where's the line at?
Yeah, that's true.
Where's the line at?
That's true.
That's what I want to know.
Yeah, okay, so do you think, because I know a few people who work at Google, do you think a lower level person, if they would have did the same thing, you think they would have got fired?
I don't.
And let me rephrase that.
I don't think so, because they probably.
Let me rephrase that. Not lower level person, lower level position, I should say.
Right. No, I don't think so, because they probably wouldn't have even noticed. They obviously know his face because he was very high up in that company, especially after 22 years versus like the guy that's been in the mailroom for like a year and a half. They're not gonna know it, and that guy's not gonna have a McLaren anyway.
True. Yeah, I think. I mean, I'm sure if he's been there 22 years, he's well off. So he probably, but at the same token, he probably wasn't ready to leave his job. But I feel like, do you think that's something he could fight legally?
if he wanted to, but I'm sure they got like a severance package and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Kind of like, hey, you know, after all these years, you know, take this Rolex and take this trip to Waikiki and take this like last $300,000 check and bounce.
Yeah. I mean, after all of them years, man, it's like, well, okay, so now it's, can he retire, like, officially with the package? Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying, like the retirement package, or if because you got fired, do you lose all of that? I'm wondering.
I don't know. I never got that far.
I know, right? I was like, wait, because they could have just did him a favor, like, oh, we're gonna end your career now. You've been here 20-something years. You can retire. You know what I'm saying? You get your pay. You just can't work for us, or are you just cut off and you just got to go figure it out?
Because I think that's what they said his salary was. They said his salary was like $300K. So I'm sure he's all right.
Yeah, he'd
be all right.
Yeah, he'd be all
right.
He'd
make more money than most of the country.
Yeah, he'd be all right.
Right. So I have one more thing to add.
Uh-huh.
And I was thinking about this, right? Because I just learned something new the other day of what people like me and you are called.
Oh.
We're called POCs now. Have you heard this term?
POC?
Yeah.
All I know about POC is from the corporate world, point of contact. What's this POC?
So now we're POCs because we're people of color.
POCs. So is that going to be on the applications? POCs.
I heard a TikTok, and this Caucasian lady kept saying POCs, and at first I'm like, what's a POC? You POS?
I know that one.
Then I look into it, and it just means people of color. But my thing is, bro, who's signing off on this stuff? Because nobody ran it by my desk to be like, okay, we're POCs now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, who?
Like, at this point, man, just go back to calling us coloreds.
I don't know. If they call me a color, I'm feel some kind of... Hey, you colored. What? No, right. Sir. POCs. Is that just a nice way of saying colored people?
I think it's I guess so, technically.
Right? Like, that doesn't make me feel better. Like, POC? Like, what the heck? Like, why do I need... Come on, man. I don't know. It's, like you said, number one, nobody ran this past the desk. Who is just allowing this to happen? We got to figure this out.
All right. Someone's putting stamps on stuff and not talking to everybody about it.
Must be tired.
I don't like seeing TikTok. Like, I might see a TikTok once every 2 weeks because I don't be on that app very much. But every time I go over there, I see something that is brand new to me. I'm starting to feel like an old man.
Obama didn't sign off on this.
Obama ain't calling us no POCs.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, I didn't know about that. I knew about the POSs. They're everywhere. But POCs, that's new to me, man. If y'all about to come out with some new acronyms, just go ahead and run it by us first.
Yeah, go ahead. Send it to the office, the RSN podcast office.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. So if you made it this far in the video, we want to thank you. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let us know in the comments what you think. Give us some of your ideas and thoughts. And make sure you check out my channel. Make sure you check out Slyce's channel. We got a lot of new content coming for you guys. And we thank you guys. Anything else to add, Slyce?
No, man. Peace and love. Appreciate y'all.
I'm Canary Valance.
Slyce. Peace.
Peace.